Hi, half nerd, half turd here. I thought I'd do a video about like organization. You got a lot of toys, you got a lot of accessories, you got to learn how to deal with it. I'm not sure if I'm looking at you or the phone or what's going on, but here we go. So, I've got quite a few toys, action figures, etc. There's several details. It's disorganized in here. We're about to go on a trip. I'm posting it, filming this ahead of time for the trip. But so you got a lot of action figures. They have a lot of accessories, hands, heads, etc. Um, so underneath my Sentinel, I have some drawers here. This one's poking out because I was messing with it. But they're labeled miscellaneous, cartoon, import MCU. I have a lot of MCU, so a lot of Hasbro was MCU. We'll talk about that in a second. But and I have all of the accessories put into little baggies, just to keep them all together, not lose them. These go to some of my Sesame Street model kits, which I might do a video about. They're really cool. They're blockies. Just a fun little thing to have. You can go into the monsters, and you have the same sort of thing. There's the mummy, all the heads and stuff. Keeps them all together. I love that. You can get a gaggle of these on Amazon, and or in a craft store or whatever. Hasbro used to get pretty crowded because all of G.I. Joe, all of my other MCU stuff was in there, and obviously I have a ton of it. Because I just like live action designs and figures that look like people, like actual faces. I'm a big face fella. So now it's mostly just the big ones in there, big accessories, and then we'll take a look at some other stuff. You can get these little cabinets for more individualized things. Did I say cabinets? These little friggin' trays or whatever, and they've got, it falls off all the time, don't worry about it. And they've got, my smaller items like my tubas, my food, like these nachos that go in this tray. My small babies, I use these in a D&D game where they had to take care of babies. That was fun. Anyway, and this little Minions shirt, the Walmart look. So just lots of little things. These little pencils that actually write. Look how small. That's a real bullet. I told you earlier who my favorite superhero is. That might make sense. So, so just having a variety of storage devices, because it's a lot of stuff. I mean, I don't know how many toys you have. I feel like I have too many, but I'm going to keep going. And then I have a couple of random things in this. It's not nice to look at. There's the sporting, whatever it is, basketball line for, what do they call that? The starting lineup. That's it for Hasbro. And so then I have these other drawers. They were mostly used for Mezco for a while. I am going to get rid of a significant portion, like some of these right here. So, if you're interested, some of these might be available. But, and so they're in here. They're in their own little baggies. Within them, oh, here's a good example. I was looking for that. This is a Punisher one. This is not going for sale. His hands are in another baggie inside the larger baggie to keep the related things together. And I think that was a key thing for me to think about. Just for ease, for pictures and figuring out the different processes that I use. I've been collecting these things, like my whole life. Maybe 25 years. I'm 35, just so you know. And I count it from the time that I got the Spider-Man Classics, Ben Reilly, off the peg. I was probably like 10. So we'll just go 25, 26 years. But now you can see I need to do the labels again. And getting a label maker is really helpful. These are non-superheroes, miscellaneous DC. That way you keep track, and then you can go over them again when you make changes. So here's some G.I. Joe stuff, the police dress or whatever it is. And then even more G.I. Joe. But then as you go down here, you get into that MCU stuff I have a lot of. There's J.K. Simmons. He's always mad. There's just a lot of options there for different, like organizational tactics and storage things. That's the whole thing in this video, is figuring out what to do with all the random crap that comes with your stuff. So this is for accessories. They're beyond like an individual character. Guns. So I have a lot of baggies with different guns, and I have the muzzle flashes in here somewhere, Molotov cocktails. So, if I'm like, oh, I need a gun, I know where to go. The F-bomb, got this at a local fair or whatever. I think that's hilarious. And then, of course, like blood effects. There's some food in there, like popcorn and stuff. Alcohol, which is important because, your toys got to get turned, right? Oh, and there's some money and gold and all that. Oh, those are some body parts. Ugh. So, there's just like a variety of things you can do just to, like, make things easier to find, basically. And I'm rough. My organization skills are rough, but I know some things. Casket of Cruelty, full of stuff. The Mr. Freeze thing is full of, like, the Mezco. Not the Mezco, what the hell am I talking about? The extreme sets, like the box things where you get a bunch of crates to fill out a diorama. Let me move this chair. Okay, yeah, again, everything's kind of up in the air because I'm getting ready to go on a fun trip, hopefully. Got some family stuff going on. So those are, they're all right. And then I have some larger setups here. These don't signify anything. They're just neat stickers that I found. And again, they're organized into categories, but just like how I do things is very loose because I'm slapdash. I shoot from the hip, but I have a startlingly accurate success rate. Like, I'm hitting targets all day, and obviously I miss. But here we go. So there's the boat that I believe it was a Fortnite boat that was on sale. Everybody was into that. The Falcon's wings, just because where else? I'm like, oh, actually, I'm sorry, Captain America's wings, Falcon cap. And I always call him Anthony Mackie cap. I'm going to put that in that other drawer over there. That reminds me. And I'm going to mess around and take pictures of him. I haven't done that in a bit. But, and then we have mounts and vehicles. So I got a bunch of motorcycles, Ghost Rider's motorcycle, Mezco might be heading out the door. I have this thing that stretcher, and you can put your boys on there, snowboards, and animals like this wolf guy, very cool guy, and a horse. So, yeah, cool. Here we have, like, these are for when I do my kaiju pictures, my Godzillas and whatnot. Some buildings, I got them on the internet. I think it's like Evil Eye Productions or something like that. I can look it up, but mini stuff, John Wick's thing, all kinds of stuff. My brother and my stepmom got me this Marvel vs. Capcom little arcade cabinet for my boys, and that was cool as hell. The Dragon Ball thingy. More organizing, but real not so good at organizing stuff. There's an owlbear. He should be over here, but there's just not room for his... Well, I guess it's a girl, but whatever. It should be over there. I used this in a picture recently. If you're on my Instagram, half nerd, half turd with underscores between each word. This was there analyzing Peter Parker's cellular mutations or whatever. This is from an old X-Men figure, so this thing is like 25 years old as well. And it's probably, a lot of stands. There's different kinds of stands in here, but these are Mezco stands, and they're the best. They hold up. The base is ugly, usually, and they're really garish. I'm getting better at Photoshop to remove them, but there's a long way to go. There's some of my paperwork in here and some of my bags. You can get these bags on Amazon or wherever, and it's just a bunch of little bags on bags on bags. And then, like, some of my 3.0 warranties, which I did use, and they did replace a button that fell off. I eventually found the button on my Megatron, but they still gave me a new one, so I have a spare, and that's good, because that's really easy to lose. Also, additionally here, some of my extreme sets are tucked into this little corner next to my displays. Yeah. I guess that's really about it organizationally. I will say it is important to kind of have rules so that you don't get overwhelmed with all of this random crap that you own. My wife kind of set up a rules. I used to have tubs and bins and stuff, and she said, hey, anything that you can set up and display, we'll keep or whatever. But when it comes to that, like nothing else. And I said, that's actually fair. Like, that's not a wife being weird about toys. She's always been really cool. But also, my brother drew this. It's King Caesar and Space Godzilla, my favorite Toho monsters or whatever, Godzilla-esque. That's a pretty good drawing. That's my favorite of his. He really worked hard on that. I should thank him again. But anyway, so that's kind of how I keep organized. I guess there's a lot that I need to do, and I have too much. Oh well, worst problems to have, I guess. So anyway, just remember one thing. If there's one thing you can take away from this, it's that the turd is the word.